A big thank you to Squarespace, who are sponsoring this video and making it possible. Hello and welcome to another video. I'm in Edinburgh at the moment and I just got off Hainan Airlines from Dublin. I just had to wait over an hour for my bag, which is longer than the flight. Welcome to a review of Hainan Airlines, a Skytrax 5-star airline. Enjoy the video. Hainan operate out of Terminal 1 at Dublin. Although it's the older of the two terminals here, I vastly prefer it. The security experience is generally a lot more organised with shorter queues. You may have travelled through Dublin Airport many times and not noticed that it has a rather unusual airport amenity. Most airports have a chapel or prayer room of some sort, but Dublin Airport has its own church, Our Lady Queen of Heaven, on site in its own grounds. Mass and confession are performed 6 times a week. By contrast, Hainan operate twice weekly at 8 AM to Edinburgh and onwards to Beijing from there. The good old Terminal 1 satellite here at Dublin Airport. My earliest flying memories really of flying alone as an adult were with British Midland, if you remember them. Later became BMI. Let me know what the first airlines you were that you flew with on your own in the comments below. I'm really interested to know about some of your flying history. I'm sure some of you can go back a lot further than British Midland in the early 2000s like me. The layout of the terminal hasn't changed much over the years, but the shops are a little bit smarter than I remember, and the airlines are more exotic too. Hainan were operating their flight to Edinburgh and Beijing alongside Cathay Pacific, who were departing for Hong Kong. Our aircraft today is the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. This is the mid-side variant of the Dreamliner. The Dash 10 is longer, the Dash 8 shorter. This flight departs in the morning, so I was a bit surprised to find some old alcohol glasses, which I assume were from the night before. Well, it is 5 o'clock somewhere, I guess. On this trip, I'll be flying in economy class. You can purchase a business class ticket on this very short hop of just under an hour. But you won't get much change from €300. My economy class ticket cost just €63, and I couldn't justify the upgrade to myself. Morning.
Morning.
Hello. Good morning. Thank you. Economy class on the Hainan 787 is in a 3-3-3 configuration. A blanket and pillow were waiting at every seat for every passenger. Hi, good morning. In economy, I like to sit near the back of the cabin, and I'd chosen row 58, seat A for today's short journey to Edinburgh. Row 59 also looks like a winner. Despite being close to the lavatories, there's a large storage space where a seat would otherwise be. If you like looking out of windows, don't choose row 57. There's a missing window here. Overall, I was reasonably impressed by this economy class seat. The headrest is fully adjustable up and down, and there are adjustable wingbacks on each seat as well. However, be warned, there are no individual air vents. Despite this being a basic economy seat, the legroom and the general space available is very favourable indeed. However, as I bent down to take a look at the power socket, which did work, I noticed something glaringly obvious about this cabin. It was absolutely filthy, the filthiest I've ever travelled in. Having lifted my pillow off the seat, I noticed there was an obvious and disgusting stain on my seat. There's no way this could possibly have been missed by the ground crew or by the cabin staff for that matter. As well as the unedifying stains on my seat, there was the remnants of somebody's dinner or perhaps a coffee on the sidewall of the aircraft too. At this point I was prepared to accept that perhaps this was simply one bad flight. But having had a look down the side of the aircraft, it was obvious that this aircraft had not been cleaned properly for some weeks. There was filth and caked in food remains absolutely everywhere. This aircraft is timetabled to have 23 hours on the ground in Dublin. There's no excuse for this appalling level of cleanliness on any aircraft. Skytrax, a discredited airline consultancy, awarded Hainan the maximum, 5 stars. Given the dreadful state of the cabin, I wasn't much looking forward to using the toilet, but I did have a quick look in there anyway and found it to be of an acceptable standard. Thank goodness. Meanwhile, back onto more positive matters. Hainan is the only airline operating on this route, and in fact on such a short flight anywhere from Dublin, that will give you a complimentary service in economy class. To save time, the goodies are sensibly distributed on the ground. Our departure from Dublin was to the west, and we were soon turning north and east for Scotland. Dublin and Edinburgh are 209 miles apart, and the journey takes just 40 minutes flying time. Still, this isn't the shortest 787 route in the world. There are several shorter, regularly scheduled flights. I'll be interested to find out in the comments if you know which ones they are. There was no Wi-Fi available on this flight. I'm sure you can survive for 40 minutes without food on a flight, but I naturally had to try the complimentary offer to find out whether it was any good. The catering had been loaded in Dublin, and the complimentary roll had been made just up the road in Belfast. However, I'm afraid to say this was far from the best sandwich I've ever had in my life. It was pretty dry and tasteless. I'd give it a miss if I were you. That said, the simple fact that it was there makes this the premium catering offering on any Dublin to Edinburgh flight. The little red pouch that you saw me pick up when I boarded the aircraft contains earphones. They're not great, but to be honest, they have a standard jack, so you'll be able to plug in your own earphones or headphones without any hassle. There's also USB charging available by the IFE screen. Despite this being only a short flight, the in-flight entertainment was available, and the choice was good too. One of the things I love about in-flight entertainment systems is that quite often you have a moving map option. The one here is very similar to the one you can find on Airbus A350 aircraft operated by Finnair. There's an endlessly customizable moving map system which allows you to view the aircraft and the route from pretty much any angle. The flight was so short there was not even time to watch a single episode of Upstart Crow, so I just had a look at the moving map and contented myself with staring out of the window at the clouds. A function of the seat I enjoyed was the ability to recline and also slide the bottom of the chair forward. This made for an increased angle of recline and was a lot more comfortable than most standard economy seats. The entertainment system is complemented by the presence of the in-flight catalogue and magazine. So, to sum up, Hainan, a Skytrax 5-star airline, failed to provide even a clean cabin on this flight. It's totally unacceptable. It's a shame because the rest of the product was either inoffensive or rather good, in fact. The competitors on this route are Aer Lingus and Ryanair. Unless you manage to ride this aircraft before the 10th of October, I'm afraid you won't be able to ride it at all between Dublin and Edinburgh. The route between Dublin, Edinburgh and Beijing has been cancelled from the second week of October. You can pick up tickets on most days of operation at the time of recording for €62 one way. Flights operate on Thursdays and Sundays only. This has to be one of the cheapest Dreamliner flights out there, so if you really want to fly one, now's your chance. Get in quick. Today's video sponsor, Squarespace, gives people like you and me a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. Squarespace has a fantastic geotagging feature to tag each post with your location. I also really love that you can link your various social media accounts to your website so you can post at the same time to all of your social media profiles. Visit squarespace.com/wingingit to get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. Thanks so much for watching to the end. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.